We start this week's recipe. I'd like to introduce you to Betty. Betty's one of our best truffle dogs, and she was the good girl who found all of these truffles this morning. See, Betty? Betty. Oh. Now, most people think of Lagotto Romagnolo when they think about truffle dogs, but Betty, as you can probably tell from her very impressive beard, have a look at the camera, Betty, is a dracha, or a wire-haired pointer, and she can run rings around any Lagotto. She loves truffling, as you can see. She's tireless, and she has these very strong paws which are just great for digging, and also she's lots of fun. The only problem, as you can tell, is she's a very rambunctious hound, and drachas are very difficult to train, whereas Lagottos are a lot easier. And she probably wants to, see, what's this? So what are we going to make today, Betty? Let's see what we're going to make with Betty's truffles. Okay, so after a quick consultation with Betty, the final decision is that we're going to use the truffles to make a black widow chicken. Now, in this recipe, we're going to open a gap between the chicken skin and the chicken meat, somewhere around here, and we're going to get inside there and stuff this with the black truffle paste which we made in the previous video, and some fresh black truffles as well. And when the bird comes out of the oven with its crispy roasted skin, you'll get this blackness of the truffle peeping out from underneath that, and hence the name, the black widow chicken. Now, the first step with this is to spatchcock the chicken, which just basically means getting the spine out, and so you can open it flat and cook it that way. If you don't have good scissors or a knife, maybe a butcher could do this for you, but I think it's important because you don't want to expose the truffle to too much heat for too long. So in this way we can probably cook the bird faster, maybe about 45 minutes is what we're aiming for. Okay, so and also we're going to get a juicier bird, and we're going to help it to be even juicier by dry brining it. Now, dry brining just means adding a whole shed load of salt on top of the bird, and so we cover it and then leaving it in the fridge uncovered. Now, this will do three things. First of all, it will help draw out the moisture from the skin, so we're going to get a crispier skin when the bird is roasted. Also, the salt will penetrate into the flesh of the bird and alter the structure of the proteins, and this allows the meat to retain far more moisture, I think about 20%, I think more. And the final thing is that we're going to properly season it as well. So this is basically, as you can see, a teacup of salt. I've got some Himalayan salt. I don't think it really makes any difference what salt you use. Just, you know, cover the bird. You can probably put his legs under here. Thank you. And there you go. Looks like a lot of salt, but we're going to brush all that off later, much later, 24 hours later. Now, good things come to those who wait, so see you tomorrow for the next stage. The next step is going to be just to brush off all of the salt. As you can see, there's a lot of it. And I'm going to remove this chicken's arse, and I'm going to pat it dry. Okay. So the bird has been cleaned up. I've got rid of the excess salt, and I've patted it dry with some paper towels where there was excess moisture. Now the next step is to create a gap between the skin and the meat. So there's a little membrane here that you have to cut through. So we're going to create a cavity. So try to get under the skin with your knife. This is probably not the best type of knife for the job, because of the danger of cutting the skin. And get down as far as you can go. I've seen this done with a syringe where the stuffing is injected. It seemed like an easier way to do it, but unfortunately I don't have that type of equipment. So, oh, there I made a hole. There you go. Never mind. Let's see if we can get down here a little bit. Yeah. I should be able to get inside and put your hands in. Oh, see the snoop that's stuck there. Yep. Just chop that. Off you go. Come on. Oh, nearly. A little bit more. Okay. That's it. I don't want it to come out at the other end, so gently over here. I should be able to get some into the legs as well. Yeah, that seems fine. So, once you've loosened the skin, then you can start with your truffle paste. And this is... I thought about adding some butter to this, but then I kind of thought that it's already got the oil in, and I didn't want it to be too oily. So I might put some butter on the skin before cooking it. And rub it with that. So. This is a bit of a messy job. I've got my gloves on. Okay. And that's where I made the hole. Try and poke this down the legs. And kind of like massage it into the meat. I was going to keep this sauce for a second chicken. I mean, you can see I'm putting the spoon in, so it's been touching raw chicken, so I'm probably going to have to use all of it now, which is fine. So if you don't have this much sauce, you could mix it in with some butter as well, I think. Okay. I think that's enough. Have a look inside. Yeah, that seems to have gone everywhere. Okay. Okay, so the chicken's prepared. I've kind of like poked its neck through a hole that I made in the skin to try and keep the stuffing in. I don't think it's going to need any oil because there's plenty of oil already in that truffle paste that we made. But I'll check it as we go on. And the oven has been preheated to 200 degrees, that's 410 Fahrenheit, somewhere around there, not too sure, you can check that. Anyway, so in it goes, and it should be done within 45 minutes. Okay, so just taking the temperature here, it's taken about 50 minutes, and you can see the nice black undercolouring of the skin there on the chicken. We need to let it rest for about 10 minutes to make sure the juices don't explode everywhere, and then we can plate it up. This is what it looks like when it's being plated up. You can see that perfectly crispy chicken skin and the juicy tender meat, which is so fragrant and full of the flavour of the truffle paste there, which coats almost every slice. I don't think there is a better way to serve chicken.